Hello, a big welcome to all of you, viewers and listeners. This is Family and Life, where we discuss family matters here on Mwanga Radio, and you're much welcome to connect with us. In our episode today, we'll be talking about the family life cycle. And we all agree that we have our roots in a family. Each one of us, the person you are today, the person that I am today, have our roots in our families. How we behave, how we carry ourselves around, it's about the family that we were brought up in. And the family is the smallest or the basic unit of the society. And if we have healthy families, then I'm sure even the society will be healthy. As it is today, I'm not sure we can talk about a healthy society from the things that we are seeing. And all of it is because of the families that people have been brought up in. So today in this episode, as we focus on family life cycle, we will seek to address, to know what is the family life cycle. We'll also lay a foundation on the different stages in the family life cycle. We'll also want to know what to expect as we deal with every stage. And we'll also be welcoming you to send your questions to us, and we'll be addressing them as we continue with other episodes. Having said that, I would want to mention that, and I believe many of us agree, that God is the author of the family. He's the author of life, and he's the author of the family institution. Right from the beginning, where he created the first man and woman and set them into a family. So as we talk about the family, we are talking about an institution that God had in mind and purposed. So what is a family life cycle? From a psychological perspective, family, first of all, the family, before we go to the family life cycle. A family is a social unit of two or more persons related by blood or marriage or adoption, and they have a shared commitment to mutual relationship. We can highlight a few things there. It is a social unit, therefore one cannot be alone. Human beings are social beings. So a family is that environment where you can be able to socialize with others. And these people are related either by blood or by marriage or adoption. They also have a shared commitment. Each one is committed to the mutual relationship. So that is what we'll be looking at. And I believe each one of us has some thoughts towards the same. So coming to the family life cycle, we'll say it is an emotional, social, or moral, or intellectual stages that one passes through from childhood to the time of death or to the retirement years. I want to repeat that again. These are emotional, social, moral, and intellectual stages that one passes through from childhood to the retirement years, or we can say to the time they depart from this life. So as you're in a family setup, what stages do you move from? Each one is born as a small child, and as you grow, you are expected to, make some milestones. When you're born, a little child that is dependent, waiting to be fed, to be changed, to be clothed, all that, you are expected to take some stages to grow from one level to another. And as a child, you're expected to move from the moment of depending on others. You can now get to an age where you're supposed to start speaking, you start walking, all those stages of life. But all of them now we are looking at them in a family setup. Many psychologists have different theories, trying to explain how a child develops from one state to another, mentally, socially, physically. There are all those explanations. And we'll be focusing and mentioning some of these psychologists as we move along. As you grow as a child in this family, you are expected to, build up from one level to another. As a small child, you move from this level, you get to the next one, and that is what we are trying to pick. Mentioning of psychologists, I would want to mention maybe somebody like Erik Erikson with his psychosocial stages of life. And they all try to explain, as I said, they are trying to explain how a person grows up. And all of them, I believe, they have their main resource from God. So as we move on from these life cycles, I would want to introduce, in this episode, I'll just introduce the different life cycles that we have. I know there are many schools of thought that, try to explain the different stages, but today I want us to borrow from the school of thought that has eight stages of the family life cycle. And the first stage is the family of origin experiences. That is I have talked about it, right? You are born in a family, and that is your family of origin. Where you are raised, that is your family of origin. And we'll be talking about what things are expected of you in future episodes while you're in that family. So that is stage number 1. The second stage is the living home stage. As this individual develops, taking one milestone after the other, they get to a point now they need to leave that home and step out and start living by themselves. So at that age, we develop from depending on parents and our siblings, and we move on to depending on ourselves and, working and all that. We'll be mentioning more and go into details in future episodes. The third stage is the premarital stage. As this young adult has gotten independent, is now working, and is doing his own things, living by himself, he is at a stage where he is preparing himself to get into a marriage relationship. And when they are out of that stage, then they get married. So our fourth stage will be a childless couple stage. When this person has gotten married, they are just the husband and wife, and they don't have a child. That's still another stage of life. And when you get there, again, there are different challenges on every stage, and every person is supposed to negotiate stage by stage. When you succeed in one, you move on to the next one. Then our fifth stage is the family with young children. This young couple gets a child, and therefore 1 or 2 or whatever number they have. So again, they get to a stage of parenting. It is a different world altogether. So again, we'll be getting deeper and deeper as we move on. The sixth stage is a family with adolescents. The young children have now grown, so this couple is no longer raising toddlers, preschools, and this other school age. Now they have adolescents. So it's another stage of life. Parenting adolescents, teenagers is another world altogether, and we'll be getting deeper into the same. The seventh stage is launching children, when the adolescents now are stepping out of the family, maybe going to college, getting to the young adult stage where maybe they start working, so they are launching out from the family. And the eighth is the later family life. This is the age where, again, the children are out of the family. You are left the old man and the old woman, the old couple, and they have their own challenges. So we'll be talking about these stages of the family life cycle, and we'll be seeing what is expected, what tasks are you supposed to achieve or get involved in each and every stage, what challenges might you face in each stage, how can we handle these challenges so that we negotiate well and have healthy families. As we said earlier, if we do not have healthy families, then we will not be able to have a healthy society. So in conclusion, I just want to recap on what we have talked about today. We have talked about what is a family. We have talked about what is a family life cycle. And I've introduced or laid a foundation on the 8 stages of the family life cycle. And I believe as I've been talking, you already know where you belong as an individual. And you could be having some thoughts and some questions in your mind. How am I supposed to negotiate this stage? How am I supposed to move from this stage to the next one? And we'll be welcoming all your questions. You can post them on our social media platform, and we'll be responding to them as we continue with other episodes. Thank you very much for your time. We look forward to growing together in this show of family and life.